Do you need parts for your Ford or Ferguson? Are you buying or selling a tractor? Got an old girl you want repaired or restored? For parts, service, sales or advice, contact Chris Stew, Tractor Man. He'll get you going.
So, of course, Percy, the deer story actually goes way, way back, doesn't it? It's not farming in recent terms, as you say, the under-30s might know it.
That's right. It goes right back to 1851, when deer were introduced to New Zealand for hunting, for the poms that come out here, and they had no hunting to do, so they were introduced.
Right.
And bred from there and in the wild, and
They just,
they just got bigger and bigger, and then they become a pest that the government introduced.
bounties or whatever?
Yeah,
or...
bounties and venison recovery for in the wild, to eradicate them. And then from there, then it went on to live capture of deer to introduce for farms, to start farming them for the venison market and for the velvet market later on. So that's how it all started, and here we are today with breeding high quality stock. A lot of stock since then has actually been imported from England, Warnham Park and Woburn Park, by various studs, and the industry has developed from there. So now we're producing a high quality yield of venison and a high quality yield of velvet per stag.
Yep. See some of the antlers you've got round, beautiful big sets, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are.
Well, Percy, you've certainly got some interesting scenery, to say the least, and certainly some interesting stories to tell us about the deer. But you even know a few quite famous gentlemen of the industry from years ago.
They're still around. You got guys like Murray Matuska still living in Taupo.
Yes.
Still farming deer today. And
true,
and you got Sir Tim Wallace at Wanaka. He's still
with us and still active?
With us, yeah. Great. We've lost a lot of guys as well.
Yes, that's the unfortunate part. You become friends with these fellas, and
exactly,
for whatever reasons.
Yeah. But, this was here. We tried to make a replica of the sort of hills that we used to catch deer on, and how dangerous it was,
Certainly rugged. I see a little chopper in the background there above the deer. He's got his little load aboard. Certainly hear the trickling of water. So the deer industry has come a long way, and like you say, now the tourists and everybody else is getting involved. But having said that, you've got a very assorted array of antlers and stuff here, eh?
Yeah, it certainly is. It's not that long ago that I can remember we were when we were cutting the velvet off. We were most probably cutting 1.5 kilos average over the whole herd. Now we're averaging about 5+ kilos. So that's just the improvement of different blood lines and the genetics of the deer. So,
yes.
That's the way it is.
And the breeding of the deer, like some deer breeders, if you like, still think they're in the wild, still think that are they domesticated at all, or are they?
The deer have domesticated to a degree, but they're still wild animals. That's what you've got to keep remembering about it. Like, never trust them during the roar and things like that.
Yes.
They're just too damn dangerous.
Yeah, no, they reckon the same for a Jersey bull or an Alsatian dog, eh? Just never trust them. You can get into some serious strife. But jumping out of a chopper though, bulldogging them, it must have got the adrenaline going for you.
Yeah, it certainly does. Yeah.
Yep, so we've got a bit of velvet removal going on here, Percy?
Yeah, velvet starts growing about mid-September. Okay. And it gets harvested approximately, 45 to 60 days later. And it's all done under veterinary supervision with anaesthetic, and the deer are knocked out.
And so what do they actually use it for? Is it medicinal?
It's used for medicinal purposes in China and in Korea. And they've been using it for over 2,000 years. We've been exporting there. And what else can I say about it? It just goes on and on, the different byproducts that go with it,
Right. No, if it's good and it grows well, keep with it, eh?
Yes.
So a lovely little demonstration of a deer farm here, Percy. All laid out nicely, eh? This is a real McCoy?
Yeah, this is my deer farm up at Sanson.
Lovely,
We've got 150 acres up there, and we're running approximately 5 deer to the acre. And that's about half on the velveting stags, the other half are hinds.
Yes.
And plus our young stock. Plus we cut all our baleage on the property for over the winter feed.
Beauty. And like compared to domestic animals, well, yeah, obviously you've got the high fences to keep them in, but no real dramas with...
No, not really. It's just normal animal husbandry, and we get busy during the velveting season, and then just after the velveting season we carry on with fawning. Starts in early November and goes through till early January. And yeah, just normal husbandry like sheep and cattle.
Magic. Oh, you've certainly got an interesting story to tell, and of course we've only captured a small portion of it. But,
Yeah, sure.
yeah, the whole story. We'll have to catch up again and
Good on you. Thanks
talk
very
about
much.
another time. Thank you very much. Well, here we are, straight across the road from the Deer Museum, of course. We have yet another mighty roadside replica, piece of vintage machinery, the mighty Bedford again. This is out front of the Manukau Hotel. Well, what better place to go and have a little look inside, shall we say?
I hope you enjoyed Mike's wee trip down the southern North Island part of State Highway 1. Some interesting bits and pieces parked up on the side of the road. Fascinating story with the deer recovery, and first time in 5,000 years a wild animal has been domesticated. But there's another tradition, and we're just about to start it, is the A&P show circuits, where everybody gets a chance, town and country can come together and enjoy. And one of the things that is a big part of every A&P show that I know of is the chance to see some of the vintage farm machinery that we get to see in our program, and to make contact with your local club. It may be that you don't think you've got anything that you can do or offer, but if you make contact, become a member, you may get invited into a shed to work on something, then give you the confidence to go out and build or restore something that you've got a fancy for. And don't forget that vintage farm machinery is not just tractors. There are lots of little tools, little bits of machinery that have all played a part in the big overall role of agriculture, farming in New Zealand. There's also the season of tractor pulling, ploughing competitions. All of these things are ongoing over the summer. So look out for those being advertised, plough days, tractor pulling days, and you'll find that you can get into all sorts of enjoyment, having a go at some of these things, and also you'll find that with tractor pulling, just in the classic classes, you can enjoy probably one of the cheaper forms of motorsport there are, and some fantastic camaraderie.
Has radiators that are great, they're the AdRad radiator experts. Phone 0800 radiator, call now, not later. AdRad has radiators that are great, they're the AdRad radiator experts. Before the metal starts melting and the smoke starts belching, then you hear the metal sound when the pistons hit the ground. Phone AdRad, phone 0800 radiator, that's AdRad, AdRad.